All right, looks like we might be live. So, welcome to Soul Chats with Psychic Medium Dani Joe. I'm super excited for our guest tonight. We have Sage Robinson Miller. Welcome, Sage.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been looking forward to this actually. And we'll wait just a couple minutes, see who we're going to have joining us. For anybody who is jumping on live with us, if you want to give StreamYard permission to use your name, we'll know who it is. Otherwise, I'll try to keep my comments open here. And just say hello if you're joining us. Hey, Julie. Hey, Deb. Hey, Tanya and Barb. There's quite a few of you jumping on, it looks like. It feels like I have been anticipating this day, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's podcast day. So I'm super excited to have Sage here. I'm going to just kind of chat with you for a couple minutes, and then I want you to give these ladies and gentlemen some background. But I've known Sage for a couple of years now, and she is doing great things. I'm super excited to introduce her to you if you don't know her already. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Christy. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Buddy. Hey, Sarah. Good to see everybody. So while we're getting started here, I think, do you remember when we met, Sage?
Well, let's see. It was actually my dad who introduced me to you. My dad met you first. That's the story. Yes,
Yeah.
he met you up at the event you do in Deadwood. And I
Yep.
think about this time of year. I'm not sure exactly, or maybe it was October-ish, but he had such a great time working with you that he didn't have to twist my arm very far. And then I signed up for a session.
Yeah, so I think it's probably been maybe around 2 years. But I have really enjoyed getting to know you. So I know quite a bit about you, but why don't you just share with everybody who you are as a person?
All right. Well, I love that question. That's always a fun question. Well, the cool part about that answer is that I'm actually evolving into kind of a new version of myself right now. And so for the last 23 plus years, I've worked in various capacities as a teacher, and I've worked with athletics and with medicine and with coaching and lots of different avenues. And I feel like that stuff resonates with my heart. I always knew that I was going to do something that was helping others or giving back to others. I knew that way back in high school, actually. And I am really excited because with your help, so yeah, it's been at least 2 years, maybe 3, but with your help, I went back to school and added another certification in life coaching. And so over the course of the last, 3 years, I guess, with school and 2 years of building a business, I now call myself a growth coach as well. Yay!
So, for all of the people watching, I don't think you properly shared how many hats you actually wear. So, tell them what a typical day looks like for you.
So yeah, it's a lot. So I actually have worked 2 full-time jobs for 23 years, and for about 6 months out of the year, I work over 80 hours a week, and for a few months out of the year, it's over 65 hours a week, and then I get about 2 months off from that life. And so I've been weaseling in my new passion into that space. And you're probably going, into what space? But yeah, I work with lots of human beings in different capacities for, over 80 hours a week right now.
crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so for those of you joining, feel free to ask questions at any point through the interview, and we'll get to those as we can. I'm glad, Kristen, that you like this live format. We really enjoy this as well. So what is your home life like? Are you married? Do you have kids?
I am married, and my husband is a teacher and a coach. And so our crazy lives work well together, because I don't think a lot of people could, excuse me, stomach the amount of hours we're gone in evenings and weekends. I think a lot of spouses would burn out on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have any kids. Our kids are our dogs. Excuse me for my cough tonight.
No worries, no worries. It's that time of the year, the air is dry. I just have to add to this is kind of funny. So when we got on before we went live, I was asking Sage what she has planned for the rest of the night. And it is her bedtime when we are done, because her days are so full. She has to get that sleep in when she can. So what time do you actually get up?
4:15, 4:30.
Wow. Yeah. So I know that you have worked in the capacity that you've been in, and the schools and whatnot have been so lucky to have you, because you are so dedicated to your kids. I see that when you talk about it. I know that being there for them through sports and all of those things is so important to you, and you're passionate about everything you do. And I know that your purpose is going towards this new goal of the life coaching and helping others in the way that you feel you're going to best serve them. But with that being said, when do you think that you felt like there was something more, or there was a spiritual awakening, or have you always been kind of intuitive?
I started realizing that about myself in middle school, actually. And I was very interested in psychology, still am. And I was really taking a bunch of courses in that. I have an entire degree in that. But when I was choosing things in college, I was having a tough time, because I kept getting a message that what I was going to do didn't really exist yet, or wasn't widely accepted yet. And I believe that, obviously everything that happens in your life has a purpose and a meaning. And I would not trade any day of the last 23 years, even the weeks where I'm working above 80 hours, because I have had such meaningful experiences with human beings in that time. And a lot of it with our, high school students and our youth. And I just think that I was using some of that experience, and I still am, to just learn more about myself and the differences in humans and why people react differently to things. And about 8 years ago, I just started feeling really heavy. And I had a little bit of like funks or depressions before in my life. And it usually was right before big change. But about 8 years ago, life got really heavy for me. And all of a sudden I was just like, seriously? Like, this can't be it. This can't be what all of life is all about. Like, it can't be the whole story. And it wasn't because I hated any part of my life. I love every part of my life. I really enjoy what I do, and my family, a funny family we have, and all of those things. But what kind of happened is I started realizing that the old kind of mantra I'd had for myself, where just keep working harder, just keep doing more and doing better and trying harder, And that's going to get you this beautiful, wonderful, extraordinary life. Well, what it was getting me is just exhaustion. And and it felt like I just kind of kept getting knocked down the ladder and having to climb up and knock down the ladder and climbing up. And I was like, this can't be all there is. It can't be it. And I got really depressed for a long time. And it was really hard to show up in my workplaces because the people around me had become accustomed to me being the person that they would go to when they were feeling down or they wanted to celebrate something. And I had to basically kind of put on a mask and show up every day. And then the second I get in my car, I would just drop. And it was a really, really heavy, heavy time. And some of you watching might resonate with this part of it. But I really, when I have tough times, I just isolate and then keep isolating and more and more and more and more and isolating and being like, I can figure this out. I can fix this. There's got to be some way I can fix this. And I just kept isolating myself, and to the point where I was barely talking to my husband or anybody close to me. And because I was like, I can fix this myself. And I finally realized that that was part of the breakthrough, is that it was time to get over this mindset that I had to work to death by myself and do everything by myself to fix this, problem I felt, or this pain, or this uncomfortableness, or this heaviness I felt. And at about that time, I was just like, I really need some new friends to hang out with. And I need some new people to talk to. And I need a better support system. And that was really the hardest part of coming out of that moment, is that I back then was terrible at asking for help. I am a fixer. Obviously you can't work 80 hours a week without being super organized and being able to fix a lot of problems, be a good problem solver. So basically I had to finally start asking for help and start getting out of my comfort zone. And it was about, some people have come into my life since that period of time, and you were about 6 months after that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it feels so much easier when I have somebody to talk to and somebody to help me and somebody just to me to bounce ideas off of. And if that person isn't so close to me that they have an agenda for me, because the two people I'd talk to the most are my husband and my dad, but as open and caring and giving as those two men are at providing space, they really are good at that. They still both have an agenda for me. And what I realized, I didn't have anybody to support me that, I could go to that didn't have an agenda for me, and just be able to listen. So once I started creating that support, and I laugh now because I think, wow, the second I started wishing and hoping and intending and praying for help to come, it showed right up in the form of you. And I have a healer lady that I see that means the world to me. And, I'm still open to building my support circle even more. I just visited with you about seeing somebody for some counseling this Saturday, because I think we're always in a state of growth. And now that I've made it through that dark time, which I now call my breakthrough.
I love
that. Now I'm just excited to work with all of you to do all these fun new things.
I absolutely love that. I honestly think that we are all teachers and students for each other.
Yes.
Yeah. And it takes a team. It takes a team.
It does.
I love that story. I love that story. You guys, I hope you love Sage as much as I do. Just listening to you talk makes me admire you so much, that you are allowing yourself to be so vulnerable and truthful with people, because really that's how we allow ourselves to heal. And so many people that are even watching probably understand every word about what you're saying and have been there themselves. Although I think you're unique. I think the hours that you work are crazy, woman,
Yeah,
crazy.
they are.
But you're good at it. You're good at it, and it has served you in the purpose that it's needed to. So,
Yes.
it's where you've needed to be.
Yes. 100%.
Absolutely. Um, so let's talk about where your journey with personal coaching or life coaching is kind of taking you.
So, I'm in my 40s, and I knew a little bit about social media when I went back to school, and I used a little bit of it to support, the places I worked and those type of things and some of my close friends. But lordy, did I not understand all that's out there. And I can clearly say I will never, because every time you figure it out, it keeps changing. But I just started by making a Facebook page. And I love this story too. Is another crazy thing that I can look back on is if I go back on my pictures of my phone about that exact same time of that dark period in my life, my breakthrough, I started screenshotting motivational posts on Facebook.
Wow.
And I started then saving them as my screensaver on my phone. So every day or every 2 days, I would pick a new screensaver and it'd be a quote. And then every time I'd pick up my phone, I'd see that first before I'd look at anything on my phone. And so I had all of these, like you can scroll through all these screenshots of all these motivational posts. So I didn't know how I wanted any of this to look because I'd never had an experience with any of it. But I thought, well, I like these posts, and so maybe other people will too. And then if I just interject a tiny little bit with the post to make it my own, because I'm borrowing, just like you do on social media, I'm borrowing all these wonderful people's content. But then I'm putting my own little message up top, and I started posting those, and I was getting a really good response. And so I just kept doing it and enjoying it. And that's still one of my favorite things is the feedback I get from my Facebook page, which is called Growing Sage. And I always keep interjecting a message with my clients and on that page that I invite you to grow with me, because I will never presume or present myself that I am completely grown or healed or, perfect. I used to try and be perfect all the time. And now I know that that is a disease. And I would rather be in a constant state of growth. So I always say, thanks for growing with me. And I call myself a growth coach.
I love that. I love that. I think one of the things that I hear from a lot of people that are on their journey is that they don't feel qualified to be helping others because they are not healed, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that I talk about with clients in general, is that we are never going to be at that place of where you put them on the pedestal like that moment, right?
Yes.
Because we're all trying to heal from the things that have been holding us back, the traumas and the life circumstances. So we are all healing, and that's the beauty in the process, is being able to see yourself grow while you're helping others grow. And it's kind of like there is no one person who is perfect that we can all look to and follow, right? Other than maybe your belief systems, but absolutely. I love your vulnerability. It shows you as a true healer with integrity. not proclaiming to be this perfect person, come to me and I'll solve it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to solve it with you, but I'm also working on me. I love that. So growth coach, what does that mean? What can people do with you? Are you offering services?
Yeah, so I do one-on-one sessions, and you can book those at my website, which is growingsagejourney.com. And you can also get to that from my Facebook page, the Growing Sage page. But I also just started something new this fall, because this would be, so I'm about 2.5 years into my business now. And I want to keep growing in that area too. So I started doing Zoom classes, so you can get online in the comfort of your own home in your pajamas. I'm wearing my pajama pants right now, so then I think that's nice and comfy for everybody. And I have actually started advertising the next one coming up. This will be my second. So you can show up and grow with me again. This one is called 3 Methods to Increase Your Connection to Yourself and Others by Becoming More Heart-Centered. I'm really excited about this one.
I love that. So
it's coming up on December 4th, a Sunday at 4 p.m. So all the details are coming out on my page tomorrow if that interests people.
So any of you watching, if you have interest, go get the deets on her page. I told Sage that I might be taking this class. The timing will depend for me, but I am excited to see what you're doing. And so this class is a Zoom class, so you meet virtually.
Yep. So it's going to be 90 minutes. So it's a nice short span of time. And the other cool part of it is I'm limiting the size. And so I'm not letting tons of people into it. And so it's a nice, comfortable space. But the cool part about it, since it's a group, I can offer it way more affordable than where you might go work with somebody in different settings. And so what I like about it is I like to try things first. And so I think it's a great way to try the growth coach, life coach stuff without having to instantly go into one-on-one and instantly pay for, an hour session. Instead, you're in a group, so you get a lower price and then you can try it out. And that's kind of my thing. I like to try things or watch things first. I'm an observer. I kind of like to see things and see if I like it.
Absolutely. It gives people an opportunity to work with you in an environment where, they're working with a great class, but at a discounted price. And then they can kind of see if they want to do more with you as far as growth coach stuff. So your social media, you have your Facebook page, which is Growing Sage, your website, which is growingsagejourney.com.
Yep.
And tell us about any other social media accounts you have. I know YouTube, you have a lot of content on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, and I think that might be another way for people to, well, let's just start with this. I also like free things. And so YouTube is free, and it has all the videos that I've made that I post a couple a week on Facebook, but then I reissue them over on YouTube. And so if you're just new to all this stuff, here's the cool thing. There's over 100 videos under Sage Robinson Miller on YouTube, and you can go over there and you can just scroll through the titles and you can see what resonates with you in this moment. And you can get, they're nice and short. They're 4 to 7 minutes. So I also don't like huge, long things. If I just want a quick, pick me up, and you can just pick what resonates with you and watch it, and it's free, and you can see if that's something you like. And then you can follow along on my page, because they will also come out on the Facebook page as well.
I love it. And you guys, you should go over and follow her YouTube page. She is very motivational. She can pump you up, and she's also very real about some of the subjects she talks about. So check it out for sure. One thing I also wanted to ask you about is, for all of us that have had a spiritual journey, and it's crazy because the way you talk about your spiritual awakening is a huge one for people. I have people come to me and they say, I don't know what's wrong. There's nothing really wrong, but something's wrong, right?
Yeah.
And so that feeling is very common as a spiritual awakening moment. But now that you have had your spiritual awakening and you're more aware of things that are going on, what do you think was maybe the most amazing thing that's happened for you, whether it be, meeting some of the people that you've worked with, or just even really realizing energy or your own power? Like, what would be the most impactful thing that you remember?
I would say a lot of it has to do with being present with human beings. And I feel like I keep getting better at that because I intend to. And I always knew, because I've been a teacher for a long time now, I always knew that a lot of times when students were coming to me, it wasn't about me teaching them. It was them bringing something to me. And I just feel like I'm way more awake to that now. And so it could be as simple as, I ran into this guy at the grocery store a couple days ago, and this older gentleman. And I had one of the most pleasant, compassionate, present 5-minute conversation with this man that I've had in a long time. And I know that there are no coincidences in this life. And I am so excited just to become more present in the interactions that I get to have, like this one tonight, and really be all here. And it's not just, my brain going, but I can actually feel my heart like vibrating because of the good energy that we can produce sitting here together.
I love that.
Good stuff. And I want that for everybody else too, and that's probably why the title of that, that class came up to me, is because I want us to be able to connect. And boy, this world has been a yucky place for a while here. And between diseases and division, I'll call it, you just kind of shake your head and you're like, where did things go wrong? I don't remember there being, this much hate and this much fear and all of those things. And so I feel like a lot of us have gotten ourselves into the position I was in 8 years ago, where I was isolating myself to try and fix things by myself. And that didn't pan out. Excuse me. I had to ask for help. And I feel like there's a big change happening in our universe right now. And I believe that we are on the cusp of returning back to a place of compassion. And I would like to be one of the people who helps shine the light in that darkness and illuminate that, so that we can actually start having compassion for one another, regardless if we believe the same thing, but just because we see each other as a valuable human being, a precious human being. And I'm willing to stick my neck out there if I need to help guide us, inspire us, maybe a little push us towards that kind of compassion and connection again. because I'm tired of us sitting like this in this division. I want us to come together again. I want to feel more of that, where you can believe this and that and talk about this, and I still love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's important to
Absolutely.
me. And I want that for others.
Yeah. I love that. Judy said that would be amazing, and Tani said so inspiring. And truly, listening to your words is inspiring. And I think you and I both, you know, have enough spiritual knowledge and wisdom to know what the potential is for this world. And
Mm-hmm.
we see glimpses of that, and we know that there are big things happening in the spirit realm. And we're hoping to be big facilitators for that, and be that light for others and help them find their own light to shine for others too. And so I'm, truly honored to be on a spiritual path with you, and so glad that you're following yours, because so many people back away from it out of fear. It's too hard, right? It's too much on top of what I already do to make it happen, and they just can't do it. And I respect that too, but got to have those people who are strong enough to keep going and stay committed, so that we can all have that world that we want to live in someday, and see those beautiful things come to light. You guys that are watching, anybody have questions specific for Sage? Want to put her on the hot seat, give her some good, tough questions? I know we covered your Facebook page, your website, your YouTube, your class coming up in December, which will be limited. So you guys follow her page tomorrow if you want to get in that class. Anything I'm missing, Sage?
Well, let me just bring this up real quick, because I feel like, obviously, if people are joining your page, they've already done some spiritual work, probably. But I've also worked 23 years in health, fitness, and medicine, and I just want to piggyback off what you just said about how we get really busy, right? And 80 hours is really busy, but the reason I get up at 4:15 or 4:30 is because it is my peace and my centering and my joy to start my day with movement. And so I like to run on my elliptical. I like to do my foam rolling and my stretching. I like to do my meditation. I like to start by just kind of putting all this out there and just returning back in here. And then, ironically, I was just talking to some of my students today. The lecture was on nutrition. And I was teaching them something just very simple, that a serving of fruits or vegetables is a handful. Just this much. And that the requirement is 5 to 9 servings of fruits or vegetables a day. So 5 or 9 handfuls, right? And if we can just start to make it a routine to move, eat that serving of fruits or vegetables, connect with ourselves through meditation, and it's the same as just trying to feel well and feel healthy in your physical body. But now I've got so many components of that, little handfuls of spiritual fulfillment and heart. I'm going to use my heart fulfillment moments of each day that I would never give up now. Never. And I just feel like such a better human being when I do those things. And I want to be able to equate that for some people who are maybe new to this stuff. It's just like eating your apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okay, well, do your 10 minutes of meditating a day and just get calm and get peaceful and listen to your heart. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel so much better. And then, yes, through that, we can be the grassroots movement of intending on, well, let's eat the apple. Let's intend on a healthier society. People that need less medicines and surgeries. Let's do our 10 minutes of meditation, and let's be a society that can be compassionate even in difficult moments of differences.
I love that.
Very related things.
Listening to you, I just can't even imagine how lucky the kids are that get to spend time with you. I mean, truly, they have been blessed to have you at their schools. Judy said, I've had to do that due to health issues. I've worked 12 hours physical labor today and 14,000 steps. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, that movement. And so then, the recovery. So, we can take it into physical aspect. And I do work with a lot of people on that stuff too. I'm also a certified personal trainer and a certified strength coach, lots of things, but we have to recover from that level of activity, just like we have to recover from being in places with lots of humans and lots of noise. And I think that is a big piece we're missing. And you're going to see a lot of my videos on YouTube talk about that rest and recovery, because we're not giving ourselves permission to just settle down. And that's one of the ones I work on a lot. And you can probably tell why, working 80 hours a week. It's a tall order for me to find enough time to recover. But that is one I want to keep getting better at, because I know that I feel so much better in here when I rest from working out hard or rest from being around too many people and recover, those type of things.
It's amazing that you bring that up. So nobody ever talks about this. I mean, I do when people ask me things like this, but like, go to places where there's a lot of people. So we'll talk about our big box store. I literally cannot spend 20 minutes in there without getting sick, and I have to be done and out of there. And I have to clear my energy, and I have to recover from that toxic environment that's never cleared. And people don't even think about that. They go to the store, they come home, they're exhausted, they don't feel like doing anything now. So they sit on the couch, not realizing they just need to clear their energy, go take a salt bath, sit outside for a moment. They're not putting those two things together, but that's exactly why.
Yeah. The little sunlight, fresh air, all those things, just small moments. And you can do it in the same sense, like a handful of apples. You can do it as a handful of sunlight, just a quick little, okay, I'm going to breathe in fresh air under this beautiful sun and take it in for 5 minutes. Even working 80 hours a week, I have 5 minutes.
I love that. People, one of the biggest things I hear from people, and no offense, I love you all, those of you that are watching that have said this to me, I don't have time for that. Sage and I both know our schedules are full plates, overflowing on the edge, and we still make time for it. I think the difference is when you start to realize that you are a priority and that you're worth that, you make time for it. But, we've all been there. We've all been there, making the excuses, not making ourselves a priority. So it's about growth, and it's about getting to that place. And those are things Sage can help you with, learning how to make yourself a priority, and getting to your goals, and helping you succeed. So I truly have absolutely adored watching you grow and unfold the way that you have. And I just see great things for you, and I'm excited to see where that path takes you. Inspiring. You're very inspiring, and I hope you know that.
Thank you so much. Well, the feeling is mutual. And I always laugh when I get an opportunity to talk to you, and you're speaking to this group, or you're at the Adams house, or you are at your store or whatever, and you've got all these different things going. And I'm like, you must have a very good calendar, first of all. But that's the cool thing about life, is that I think that, so in my late 30s was my breakthrough. And now here, this much later, I have built a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a website, a YouTube, and I can offer all this free content to people to help them. And just the thank yous on there is so worth every minute of my time. But look at what you can do if even working 2 full-time jobs. Look what you can do if you intend it. And as soon as you can get quiet enough to really look inward, listen to your heart. So you got to find quiet for that. You got to find space for that. You got to choose to make and intend space for that. But when you can get quiet, then you can actually hear what your heart wants and needs. And you never know where that road's going to take you. It might be to the Adams house. It might be speaking to a group of women. It might be, running your courses that you do. You don't know where that's going to take you next. And I am such a control freak by nature and micromanager, and you can see why I had to for 80 years. But I am so excited now to finally be like, ooh, what's around the corner? And now I could just see, hey, now I'm doing these Zoom classes. Who knew,
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing. First of all, you and I get along well because we're very much alike in those aspects. But I definitely think, you put that intention out there that this was what you wanted, and you put a little bit of hard work into it, and it is starting to unfold before you like a red carpet, right? And you don't know where that red carpet goes exactly, but there's exciting things there. And the cool thing is that I think that so many people feel stuck, but nobody's stuck. It's a self-imposed restriction when we feel like there's no way forward. And, everybody watching, those of you that want to get to a better place or do more in your life or inspire others as well, like you can get there. And Sage's story is pretty inspiring and pretty incredible. If you can do all those things, all the while, many life challenges, right? You didn't even bring up any of the life challenges that you went through with health issues and house issues and, different things. And it's incredible. So I hope that everyone listening knows that they have so much potential too. And you guys have got to go follow Sage's page only because she has such great content and has grown that into such an amazing thing. It will blow your mind, the people that are all over the world that follow her. And that inspires me. So thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any final questions here before we wrap it up, certainly ask. But just one final reminder for that class. It is going to be December 4th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time by Zoom, a 90-minute class, and it will be a limited availability starting tomorrow.
Yep. Post comes out tomorrow on my Facebook page with all the details, and I'm running the event through Eventbrite. The link is right on the post to make it nice and easy for you. Here's the deal. I just want you to see like what resonates with you. And if going on my page and just seeing if there's any posts that make you feel a little more motivated today, or they make you have a little more peace today, or they give you permission for rest and recovery and rest and just restoring yourself. That's all I care about, is that you have a safe space with me and my platforms to be able to grow. A safe space where you can grow and you don't have to worry about the loved ones in your life, the close people in your life, and their agenda for you. You can show up to my page and see the posts every day. You can go watch the videos. You can do that on your phone, and you can do all that in your own time. And you can be working on yourself, and you don't have to worry about all of those people's agenda, because you have a safe space with me. And I just want to make sure you guys all know that, because thank goodness for people like Dani Joe who have given that safe space to me. I want to give it back tenfold.
I love that. I love that. Well, Sage, I thank you so much for joining me tonight. I truly enjoy our time together, no matter what it is, and this was incredible. So we'll post up a little post on Facebook, I guess is what I want to say tomorrow. Brooke will put all the pages again and the ways to find you. So if anybody is thinking that they might forget, it'll be right there on the Facebook page tomorrow. And thanking Sage again for joining us. But thank all of you for watching and taking time. And those of you watching the replay, we really appreciate it. Thank you for making this episode of Soul Chats successful. And I can't thank you enough for spending your evening with us, Sage. Thank you so much.
Thanks for growing with me. Much love to you guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great night, and we'll see you just around the corner.